I've been reviewing a bunch of FPV backpacks lately, and they all have one thing in common. They're freaking expensive. They typically come in around $200. And set aside the question of whether that's like a fair price for what you get, the bottom line is a lot of people don't want to spend that much on a stupid backpack. That's why this product is so interesting. This is the RaceDayQuads FPV backpack, and if you think you've seen me review this on the channel before, technically you have. I reviewed V1 of this backpack years and years ago. It's changed a lot. And what makes this backpack so interesting is that from the beginning, it has always been positioned as a value-priced FPV backpack. Value-priced? That means instead of costing $200, it only costs $100. But the big question is, what do you get for $100? Are there too many compromises here? Or is this like the best value proposition in FPV backpacks ever? Well, I guess we're going to find out. I'm Joshua Bardwell. You're going to learn something today. We're going to do the same thing with the RaceDayQuads backpack that I've done with all the others in this series. We're going to look at the outside, we're going to look at all the pockets, and we're going to open it up and go to the inside. But the first thing that we got to get out of the way is that this bag is significantly smaller than the other ones that I've been reviewing. So let me just back up and hold this up for you. Here's the Lumineer bag on the left, and here's the RaceDayQuads bag on the right. And yeah, it's smaller and it is thinner. So you're not going to get as much stuff in here as you will on some of the others. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, though. Like I heard someone on one of my live streams recently said that you should get the smallest backpack that holds all the stuff that you want to carry. I've had bags before that were so big that when I filled them up with stuff, they were uncomfortably heavy. Now, I'm a weakling, so maybe you wouldn't feel that way about it. But like the point is, you don't necessarily want the biggest possible bag, especially because FPV gear is often fairly dense, right? It's got its batteries, it's metal tools, and so on. So if you get a giant bag and fill it up, sometimes that's more weight than you really want. Here on the outside of the bag, we have a flat surface for mounting drones. That's very, very common on FPV bags. You got to carry drones. And unlike some of the other bags, this bag isn't going to be as easy to carry drones on the inside. Just because it's smaller, by the time you put all your controller, goggles, batteries, tools, etc. inside it, you're probably not going to have much room for a 5-inch drone. This is just a random drone that I picked up. The straps go across like so and strap down. And another thing you're going to notice is that this bag doesn't have the same rigid panel here. So as I strap this down, if I cinch it down, you can see it really pulls at the structure of the bag and deforms it. Most of the other bags that you'll see at the higher price point are going to have a rigid panel here, and that means, well, they'll still, obviously they'll still pull a little bit, but they'll maintain their structure better and provide a hard surface for the drones to rest against. The default placement of these straps is kind of dumb. I don't know why they all do this. Like the bottom one, you can see is just completely useless, right? Because the drone is kind of, I guess it depends on the size of your drone, but the drone is kind of just going to be falling off. What I would usually do if I really wanted to be secure is I would have one strap like this, and then the second strap I would move down to here, and then, but then of course you got a lot of room that you're not using, right? So maybe it would be good if it came with a third or even a fourth strap, but again, you got to do something to get that price down, right? It also does not have the elastic stretchy straps that some of the other bags come with. You have these, and that is it. And like, this is a fairly common item. Like, I'm sure that somewhere you could find somewhere to order spares of this, but like, I don't think you could just like go to RaceDayQuads and say, hey, I need a spare buckle. This is some kind of webbing. I don't think it's molly webbing. Is it molly webbing? No. See, I thought so. Molly webbing goes horizontally, and then your accessory goes down and straps through it. So it's also kind of an interesting choice that they made this webbing be vertical. I mean, obviously, it probably wouldn't be like official molly webbing to the exact fraction of an inch standard, but I think they probably could have made this somewhat compatible with molly webbing if they had done it horizontally. I think all your molly accessories are going to go on sideways. It's the same thing here on the side. We've got this webbing. We could clip things to it, carabiners and straps and whatever, but it's not going to hold MOLLE accessories. Tell me in the comments if I've just completely misinterpreted this and there's a way to like use this with MOLLE that I'm overlooking because I'm a dork and not like a so tactical MOLLE webbing. Oh, I love this. This pocket here is one of my favorite features on this backpack. It opens up and it's got a little compartment you can reach inside from the top, including a separate little zipper compartment. I love this because a lot of times, especially as I'm traveling with my bag, I'll want some place to like dump my earbuds. Maybe like I'm going through security and I want to dump my phone and my wallet in there and then quickly get them out again. I want a pocket that's easy to get at, small things that without having to go into the whole backpack. And a lot of backpacks don't have that. It annoys the crap out of me. I love it. Coming over to the side, we got nothing going on the side. So a lot of the other bags will have a great big pouch here that you can stuff a tripod or a water bottle in. We don't have that. We do have this, which looks like a pocket, but actually it is a opening into the inside of the bag. Rotor Riot calls this the rip and dip pocket. Because you're gonna quickly get your goggles and your controller out. You're gonna rip a pack and then stuff it back in and dip from the sight. Rip and dip. This is a feature that has been common in photography bags for a long time. So it's not like Rotor Riot invented it, but I do have to say, Rotor Riot was the first FPV bag that I saw to integrate this, and I can't tell if this came before that and I just didn't know, or if they're borrowing Rotor Riot's idea. I know everyone in the FPV community is super concerned with who did something first and who should get credit and who's stealing, so I just want to make sure the record is straight there. Can you see my gigantic eye roll? Okay. No side pocket, though. And likewise on the other side, we got a little pocket here, right? But it's like so small that I'm not sure like what I would put in there. Like obviously you could stuff something in there, but you're not going to get very much in there. It does have nice elastic on the top to pull it closed. And so what you put in there will probably not fall out. Like if I take this I got a little knife here that a buddy got me. Like if I put that in, see, it's going to fall right out again. So, I don't know. I'd be careful what I put in there. I'm probably not going to put my phone in there, but yeah, that seems more secure. It could be bigger. It's not bigger. That's just what you get. Coming around to the backside, we've got the straps, and, they're okay. We do not have an adjustable top strap here. A lot of the others will have a cinch at the top, so you can pull the bag to ride higher. We only have adjustment on the bottom. We do have a chest strap. The chest strap is removable if you choose not to use it. I do like a chest strap on my FPV bags because a lot of times if I've going through the airport or something and I have to walk for a little bit of an extended period of time, I kind of like to cinch that up and just pulls it that much tighter and makes it that much more comfortable. I usually don't use it. It would be nice if there was some way to tuck or constrain this so it wasn't flapping around. I don't know, I might just tuck it under or something. To get it out of the way for the rest of the time. Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable. Not a lot going on there. Padding it's there. And we have padding here on the back with channels for airflow, which will hopefully make it just a little more comfortable. There is no waist strap, and for a bag this size, that's probably okay. I usually don't use the waist strap even on the larger bags, really at all. I wouldn't use it unless I was hiking a really long way, and I'm fine without it. And for a bag this size, it's not going to be as heavy. Probably doesn't matter. Oh, hey, look. It's the laptop pouch. We have a side zip laptop pouch. It is well padded on the back. It is well padded on the front. And I always like to check the bottom. And you can't see this, so you'll take my word for it, that here on the bottom, there is no padding whatsoever. So your laptop is going to be resting right there with this thin fabric between it and the ground. And if you take your bag and you set it down too hard one day, your laptop's going to take a hit. If I owned this bag, I might be tempted to get some kind of high density foam and just stick it in there. Or I could just not be a freaking gorilla with my backpack. I don't know. But that is definitely a feature that I find in other bags that is not present here. Next up, we've got this compartment here. I really like this. So this compartment here is outside the front of the bag. Here we've got the top compartment that's just will go up out of the way. And we've got compartments here for tools, right? I could take, like, now I'm not going to do this. Some people will do this. And if you're one of those people, then you're going to be thrilled to see, like, I can take my, okay, it doesn't want to go in. It doesn't, there we go. I can stuff that down in there. Yeah, I could stuff that down in there. I could take my individual tools. The original Rotorite bag, this fabric was really thin, and in fact, the tools would sometimes tear the fabric. That, I mean, I'm trying not to be too rough with it, but it seems like it's a little thicker. Let's, for the sake of science, let's just say I'm putting this tool in, it catches, and okay. Like, it's not immediately ripping through. I surely could gouge it through if I wanted to, but with just a little bit of carelessness, it did not immediately, like, gouge and rip through. It does seem, like, I don't know if you can see this point here. It does seem that if you kept tools in here over time, they might wear through. I guess that's going to be true to some degree no matter what. I don't personally like to carry my tools this way. I just prefer my tools to be in a separate bag that I can take out of the backpack, because I often want to work with my tools somewhere where the backpack isn't. But I'm not mad about this. This is a pretty solid setup. You know, if you wanted to do it this way, you certainly could. The other thing is, like, I have more tools than this, right? So you've given me all these dividers, and I do like dividers, but I wouldn't put my tools in them because they wouldn't exactly match the number and etc. So to tell you the truth, what I think I would end up using these pockets for is things like USB cables. You could easily fold it and stuff it down in there. Little charging adapters and so forth, other stuff like that. Stuff that's more likely to live in the backpack and be used near the backpack rather than tools, which I'm going to want to take out and lay out on a table and whatever. We've also got this zipper pouch up here. I can't help but notice that it zips from the bottom. So you're not going to use it when the bag is standing up straight. You're going to use it when the bag is laying down flat. You're going to open it up and get in. That's fine, but you do want to keep that in mind. And then on the lid, we have this great big container here, this great big compartment, zippered. It is semi-translucent, and obviously you're going to use that for bigger stuff. I might put props in there. Like, I find these big flat compartments to be useful for props because you can just put a bunch of bags of props in there and they also lay flat. And also keep in mind that if you have drones on the outside, as you're opening and closing this, they are all going to kind of just be flopping around, right? And it's going to have a lot of weight on here and pull on it. So that's how it is. Into the main compartment of the backpack. Ta-da! I also would like to point out that this bag is front opening to the main compartment. Now, some people are going to like that and some people are going to hate that. The front opening means that when you put the bag down on the ground, the back of the bag, which touches you and your clothes, is on the ground. And if you're somewhere dirty or gross, like some bando in the middle of the city where there's all trash and dirt and grime on the ground, and God knows a construction site where there's like metal filings, right? You're going to set the bag down and then you're going to put that on and you're going to have all that stuff on you. Some people really object to that. The advantage of front opening is that I set it down and I open it up, and like if I have drones here on the outside of the bag, they just fold over and it just folds over. There's no weight on it. They're not really in the way. You have to point out, though, there's a little bit of a conflict. Like, let's say I open the bag and I go in and I get my stuff out and now I'm flying, right? And then I go, oh, crap, I want a tool. Well, now I have to go like this, come in here, right? So you can't get access to both of these compartments at the same time. Whereas if the bag was designed differently, it would clamshell open and I could have access to both of them at the same time, potentially. I don't know exactly how that design would work, but they are sort of mutually exclusive. Inside the bag, we've got another 2 compartments. Right here and here, semi-translucent. We've got a divider, which is nice because it means that if you sort of zip the bag open, then all your stuff doesn't fall out. That's clever. Here is the inside of the bag. We've got a rain fly, comes with, and a toolkit. This is a nice little toolkit bag. It's got Velcro on the outside as well as snaps if you wanted to attach it to, well, molly webbing. You could put it, I bet you could put it on the side. Bet you could strap it to the side. That's pretty cool if you wanted to. That's kind of cool. It does have Velcro on the outside, so if you put it in here, it will sort of stay in place where you put it. Okay. Here I think we come to like the biggest thing that's going to make or break this bag for you, though. Like, the whole point of an FPV bag is that it's got these adjustable dividers, and you adjust the dividers to perfectly fit your equipment. And you just don't get very many of them. The bag comes with 2 long dividers here and 3 short dividers, and that's it. And like, I've kind of laid them out in some sort of way that kind of sort of makes sense, but like, check this out. Let's say I'm going to put my batteries down here or my tools down here in the bottom. Great. So that's going to be all the way across, no divider, right? That's a very common way that I do it. So now we've got this shelf, right? And then what? Well, like, all I can do, like, this is useless. We need another shelf, right? Or I could put 3 dividers across here. Okay, 3 dividers across there in some way. And then this space up here is just a big open space. There's almost no way to lay out the dividers that they give you that doesn't result in just a big open space. And that's not inherently a bad thing, but that's kind of contrary to why I bought the freaking bag. I even tried alternative ways of laying it out. Like, what if we did like a vertical here, right? And like a horizontal here. Okay. I'm being sloppy here, but you get the idea. And then we do these guys here. Okay, well, once again, I can only do 1, 2, 3 with these little guys. Because now this shelf has moved up so high that it's too far for these ones. So you don't have a lot of flexibility in how you lay it out. You're basically always going to end up with one small compartment with 1, 2, or 3 dividers, and then 2 bigger compartments with your stuff loose in the bigger compartments. And that's kind of not why I bought an FPV bag. I wanted to be able, they really need to give you like 1 more shelf and like 1 or 2 more of these little dividers. And I think you would significantly increase the utility of the bag. So for me, the way that I would probably lay this out if I had it myself is I would have 1 shelf at the bottom, big compartment here, batteries at the bottom, because I think it makes sense to have weight at the bottom of the bag, batteries at the bottom, and then a second shelf with dividers, like so. By the way, worth pointing out the dividers. This is useless. There's no point to this. I mean, I don't know. Someone will come up with a use for it. And I guess it's nice that they thought to give you a little bit of extra functionality, but like, what's that going to hold? What's that going to hold? A battery checker. Maybe it'll hold a battery checker. I don't know. So like, I would do something like this. The exact placement would depend on like what I was putting in here. And then what? Am I just going to put goggles and controller loose up here with no divider and no padding? Where am I going to put? Am I going to put my goggles here? It's not deep enough to put the goggles in the long way down. It's the idea of what an FPV backpack is trying to do, but when you actually start using it, it doesn't do the thing that you really need it to do, which is give you a customized compartment for your specific things, separated and padded. Just for perspective, I want to show you my current layout for my daily driver bag, the PGY Tech bag. This is a little bit bigger bag. It's not as big as the Luminaire bag I showed you at the beginning of this video, but it is a little bit bigger and certainly a little bit deeper than the RaceDayQuads bag. So set that aside. I'm not talking about the absolute amount of stuff I have in here, but I just want you to see like the decisions I've made in how to lay the bag out. And I want you to see that, oh, had some snacks in there. Let's see that those decisions would kind of be impossible to make with the RaceDayQuads bag. So I've got some goggles in here. The goggles can't go in depth-wise. The bag isn't deep enough. So I've got them in sideways, right? So fine. But I've got separate dividers here, 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 getting them in. Here's my controller. The bag is deep enough to put the controller in like a bookshelf way. Dividers, batteries, right? I've got a lot of options here. And I also have to say, in the interest of fairness, This divider here didn't come with the bag, and this divider here didn't come with the bag. I bought them aftermarket. But even without those things, like there still was a lot of flexibility in exactly how you lay the bag out for you to get your stuff exactly where you want it to be. This is why you buy an FPV bag. If you just wanted to throw your shit into a big compartment and have it rattle around against itself, you would just buy a regular backpack. You wouldn't buy an FPV backpack. And I fear that's what the Rotor Riot bag is sort of failing to do. I said Rotor Riot bag. I fear that's what the RaceDayQuads bag is sort of failing to do. It is good in a lot of ways. I like the external organization. Some of the compromises on the exterior of the bag, like no zipper side pocket on the outside, I think a lot of people, some people, would be willing to tolerate that in exchange for getting the price of the bag down, right? But when you get to the main compartment of the bag, especially with the number of dividers that they give you, I think that you don't get enough organization to justify the price markup of I'm buying an FPV bag. That's the thing. This is not in competition with the other FPV bags costing $200. It's not as good as them. It is not built to the same standard. It is not rigid in the same way. It seems fairly well built on the outside. When you get to the inside, the Velcro is it's clear, like in a year or a year and a half, the Velcro is going to wear out. It's going to lose structure. Like, I think that's fairly likely. Doesn't mean it will be useless, but it does mean it's not going to hold up like some of these other more expensive bags. It's not in competition with them. This is in competition with another backpack that you could buy for $100. You can get a damn good, like, tactical backpack. I don't give a shit about tactical, but, like, that's a popular style of backpack that has a lot of pockets, a lot of sections, and they're fairly well built and fairly, good value for money. If you go buy a backpacking backpack, it's going to be made more for hiking, and that's not going to be what you want. You can get a good backpack for $100. A backpack that'll last you for 20 years for $100. It won't be an FPV bag, though. You're going to have your goggles in a little protective case. You're going to have your controller maybe with stick protectors on, and they're going to be put in there, and you're going to be just that little bit more careful about moving around with it because it doesn't have the internal padding that an FPV bag does. But the problem is that this thing doesn't have the internal padding either. It's got some of it, but not enough. Or maybe it's enough. You decide. Think about your gear. Think about how you lay it out and decide if you think you could make this work for you. Personally, I don't. I wish that they included one more of these shelves and like 2 more of these dividers, and I might feel completely different. I don't know. And the other thing is, you can't buy these. Like with my PGY Tech bag, I didn't like the exact way. It was pretty good, but I wanted to change it. PGY Tech just sells spares for all their backpacks. So I just bought some more dividers. That was money out of my pocket, and it's not fair to compare that to this. They're at a very different price point. But you don't even have the option with this bag, and that certainly is something to consider. If you love this bag, then don't let me talk you out of buying it. There's a link in the video description below. It is an affiliate link. And that means you click that link, and then you go make any purchase at the, I usually say the affiliated vendor. It's going to be RaceDayQuads because that's who sells this bag. You make any purchase at RaceDayQuads, and after you click that link, I get a commission. It's a really easy way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Just bookmark that link and use it whenever you do your normal shopping, and you'll just be contributing to me, and I sure would appreciate it. But if this isn't quite the right backpack for you, or you want to find out what you get if you pay more, this is part of a series of videos I'm doing on a bunch of different backpacks, the iFlight bag, the Lumineer bag, the Rotor Riot bag. I've got them all in a playlist. I'm going to put a card on screen. You can check out that playlist and see what else is up. I'll see you there.